Hi everyone, it's Everyday Carry Canuck here. Let's face it, we all know, I love gear. If you've seen my Facebook and Instagram page, you know I love gear. And you also know I love the range. So I'm going to be talking about the most important gear you can carry when you go to the range. Although this video is geared towards going to the range, this actually applies to anything. You know, going to work, and I'm not just talking about like law enforcement or military or private security or somewhere where you're likely to get shot or stabbed or whatnot. I'm talking about anywhere, literally anywhere. Things can happen. We're human, and we can do as much as we can to try to lessen the odds of something happening, but sometimes things are just completely unavoidable. So what I've got behind me is the bleeding control kit, or bleed control kit, bleed stop kit, the oh no I'm bleeding help me kit, whatever you want to call it. It's nothing formal. And these consist of 6 basic items that I think are actually five basic items. I've got duplicates of one item up there, that I think are extremely important to carry with you on your everyday life, either on your person or at least accessible nearby. I'm not going to say you need to carry this stuff on you all the time, because quite simply I don't. In fact, out of all this stuff, only one thing is carried on my person when I am at the range. Everything else is carried nearby in my 511 Rush 12 bag in a little first aid pouch. So let's get started. Number one, the modular bandage. Almost kind of looks like an MRE. But it's not, trust me. So what is this vacuum sealed bag, you're probably asking? So what this does is it's a bandage that's actually meant to wrap around your limb, and it has it's called a pressure cup, if I'm remembering correctly, in the middle. You can actually kind of see the outline here. And what that does, it will help you focus pressure on one specific area to help, with direct pressure, which is obviously probably the first thing you want to go to when it comes to bleeding. Let's not jump to the tourniquets right away unless it's very obvious. But it's got that. It's also got it's like two little, it's hard to explain, two little like flaps that come out, and it's essentially packing gauze. And that will help, alleviate bleeding. So that's one of the items. Very useful and definitely a must-have in every control the bleed, stop the bleed, whatever kit. Next up is compressed gauze. I've actually got two here because these two are packaged differently. However, you'll see that they are the same thing. This one's from North American Rescue, and this one is, I don't know, some other company. Why do I have two? Well, honestly, they both do the same thing. However, one I prefer to carry over the other on the simple fact that, as you can see, one is, they're both actually the same amount of gauze. However, this one seems to be more neatly packed into a nice, neat square that you can actually fold up the package. Meanwhile, this one is, I would say, a little more crudely packed. North American Rescue does actually make one that is in a square like this, and in fact I'll be putting that in the link description below. Everything you see here, probably not going to be the exact same brand, but every type of item you see here, I'm going to have a Amazon affiliate link down at the bottom of the description, so you can go pick it up yourself. Compressed gauze, obviously, essentially more of the modular bandage, the packing gauze. So this is just compressed, but it's packing gauze. So this is what you would want to pack into a wound, to help control bleeding. Next up is hemostatic gauze. So right here we've got Celox Rapid. You don't just need to get this brand. There's also Quick Clot, which I will actually be putting in the description below. Celox Rapid, and it's hemostatic gauze. So what it essentially has is a clotting agent that is in the gauze, and that helps clot your blood in order to help prevent bleeding. Next up is medical gloves, essentially. This one here is a CTOM's medical gloves. The only reason I have this one is because it was issued to me by my old employer. CTOM's makes great gear, great equipment, and this one here, I've tried these gloves before. They are thicker than normal medical gloves, which I appreciate because I've worn a lot of crappy medical gloves where they just sort of rip as you're putting them on. So these ones are thicker, which, you know, would hopefully result in less of a chance of them tearing or failing. Last but not least is probably the most, let's say, popular bleeding control tool. So we're gonna take a look at my belt here. This is from Safe Life Defense Tactical Belt. Obviously this is not the equipment I'm talking about, but you know, holster, mag holder, and last but not least, this is a CAT Gen 7 tourniquet, or you can just call it CAT. A lot of people call it CAT tourniquet, including myself. I am guilty of that. However, CAT stands for Combat Application Tourniquet. So if I call it a CAT tourniquet, I'm calling it a CAT tourniquet. Doesn't make sense. CAT tourniquet. If you know much about tourniquets, you would know that essentially will cut blood flow to a limb. This is not meant for anywhere on your torso or your neck. This will help cut off circulation to the limb to help prevent bleeding through that limb and keep the blood that is supposed to stay in your body I'm going to touch on a few things on this actually. So first off, CAT is not the only type you have to buy. There are many good ones from Softy, Sam. Those are both great brands. I don't own any. CAT is just probably the most popular, I would say. That between that one and Softy, I would say. But one thing about this, I will provide Amazon affiliate links for these items. And if you want to shop around and look for a better deal, be my guest. I will also include an Amazon affiliate link for this CAT, but I'm going to let you know right now. First off, it's going to be, I found on Amazon, surprisingly for this, it was actually a little bit more expensive than if you were to look at like a probably Canadian website like CTOMS or 911 Supply or Fundy Tactical. I would probably, to be honest, look at that. But if you insist on going to Amazon, only use the link that I provide. And I'm not saying because it's an affiliate link. It's because Amazon is flooded with fake tourniquets, fake CAT tourniquets. And I'm not talking about just like no-name brand tourniquets. When it comes to an item like this, you do not want to cheap out. There is a big issue with essentially fake or generic CAT tourniquets that look like this. I'll actually include a photo right here. Yeah, this there? Okay, good. Of like excellent price tourniquets. The only issue is they have a tendency to fail. When you need this, you need this. Like this, like you will die most likely if this fails on you in a time that you need it. All these crap no-name tourniquets that you see out on Amazon, there's tons of videos online. If that breaks, you're not going to get the tightness needed to stop the blood flow to your limb. And this one will hold because it's a genuine CAT tourniquet, and there's ways to tell online. You could check online, but there's tons of ways to check to tell. However, on the fake ones, they're known for breaking. So, you know, yeah, you may get a great deal on, or what seems like a great deal on a tourniquet that looks almost exactly like this, until you have to use it and you realize it breaks. And usually that's not a time where you're like, I can get a refund. It's a time where it's a life or death situation. You definitely would hope that someone nearby has a genuine one. This is just my opinion on some of the most important gear that you can carry. If you like this kind of content and more informative stuff, which I do plan on putting out, you can subscribe to this channel, like the video too, so I know you like it, and I appreciate it. So thank you for your time. This has been Everyday Carry Canuck. I'll see you around.